everybody, it's Friday Farm Vlog. I don't know why you get so excited when I start filming. Every time. Sit. Oh my gosh. I don't know why that puppy gets so excited when I start talking to the camera. Every time though. But I wanted to tell you guys, I was milking the other night Miss Amelia Bedelia because yes, she is still producing milk. No matter how much I cut down on her feed, I am milking less and less, and she's still going with the milk. But I was milking her, I had her all hooked up to the milk machine, and the whole goat shed was shaking. I felt like the floor was moving, I felt like the whole thing was just moving, and I could not leave my goat because she's hooked up to a machine and on the milk stand, and my imagination is like, what is going, is there like a bear shaking my shed or like an earthquake going on? What is happening? It felt like the floor was moving, and so I quickly tried to finish up with milking while the shed is still moving. I get her unhooked, get her off of there safely, and I go look, and this is what I find. My St. Bernard Anna was wedged underneath the goat shed doing, I don't even know, I would imagine trying to get chicken eggs from under there, but she got herself stuck, and I think she was trying to turn herself around because she went in head first and then was trying to get out, got stuck, so she was trying to rotate and was lifting the shed or shaking it, moving it. We have it up on cement blocks, so thankfully she didn't shift the skids off of the cement blocks because she was really shaking that shed. It had me nervous. Bear sightings here in Rehoboth, Massachusetts is very uncommon, but not unheard of. So it certainly could have happened, but it wasn't a bear. It was my ginormous St. Bernard. She did have a hard time getting out of there. We were calling her, trying to coax her out of there. My daughter ended up using a shovel and digging some of the dirt away from the front of the shed, and eventually she was able to army crawl her way out from under the shed. Hopefully she won't be trying that again. I've been keeping a close eye on her when she gets close to that shed and just letting her know, don't do it. Do not do that. Oh my gosh. Yes, it was you. It was this gorgeous girl. This was the girl. Yes. Your leaves, you got leaves in your tail. You are covered. Look how big my little chick is getting. My chick is so cute and so fluffy. We've been getting some cooler weather, dropping down to about 29 degrees Fahrenheit last night. But this little chickie is doing great. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now I do have the Bantams out with the main flock. We only have one Buff Orpington Bantam left and two Buff Brahma Bantam roosters left. We've done a really good job this week selling a bunch of chickens. We sold Bantam pullets and Bantam roosters and a bunch of full-size Buff Orpington roosters as well. Now we did keep all of our Buff Orpington hens and T-bone our main Buff Orpington rooster. Yes. And we did keep our little chickie baby because he or she is still learning from his or her mother. Hi ladies. But they are getting quite fluffy with this cooler weather. Getting nice, beautiful plumes. Hello. Hello, beautiful. And they don't seem bothered by these little Bantam roosters. Hi. Hi, sweet baby. So I just have 3 of the Buff Brahma pullets for female bantams. We sold the Buff Orpington bantam pullets. We decided not to keep the Buff Orpington bantam pullets, which were the small versions of the Buff Orpingtons, because the batch of chicks we got, they had some curled toes and didn't seem to be of the best quality, so we decided to sell those. But the Buff Brahmas turned out to be really beautiful little birds, so we decided to keep the Buff Brahmas. Not all of them, of course. We just want to have a real small bantam flock. But now that we have just 6 bantams for the winter, I am considering moving them to the main chicken coop instead of having the chick coop occupied with these 6 bantams and the large chicken shed occupied. I'm thinking it might be better just to make one flock. They do already free range together just fine, and I feel like the bantams will be warmer this winter if they're with the main flock, just because they can generate more heat and snuggle up together. There's plenty of roosting space in our main chicken shed, and I do worry about the bantams this winter just because they are smaller. They're about 2 pounds, and yes, they do get lots of feather, and Buff Orpingtons and Buff Brahmas are both hardy breeds, but they still are teeny tiny. So I've been kind of weighing out the pros and cons of moving the bantams in with the main flock, because the pros of course would be that they would be warmer because it would be a larger group and they'd be able to snuggle up all together. They would have the automatic chicken door, and they would have our main rooster T-bone with them at all times for protection. Personally, for me, it would be more convenient to have just one chicken coop to maintain for the winter rather than the 2 of them, as far as cleaning and maintaining and setting up the different feed and water stations. The main chicken coop has a treadle feeder, which is really awesome to be able to fill up with 25 pounds of feed for them all to eat out of. My question is, will these bantams be able to use the treadle feeder? Do they weigh enough to access the treadle feeder? So that would be something for me to explore. Hi. And it would be really great if they could access the treadle feeder, because then I could just fill that up with 25 pounds of the layer feed, because our bantams are laying eggs and so they need to be on a layer feed at this point. And so having everybody on the layer feed, aside from our one cute little chickie baby who is still on chick feed and will be on chick feed for several more months. So we do have to feed that chick separately, but having everybody else on the same feed and using the treadle feeder would be convenient as well. Especially this winter when I'm trudging through snow to get to these chickens. If we can make it as simplified as possible, that would be ideal. So I think I'm gonna try this week integrating them into the same coop and training the bantams to use the same coop and just monitor the situation, see how T-Bone handles it, having a few roosters in with him. And rather than just free ranging, it's a different story once they're in a confined area. So we'll see how that goes. I'll let you know next Friday on that one. Now, we have been contending with our waters freezing, so I am going to have to pull out the coolers and start setting up water coolers for the goats and chickens to help prevent freezing. This morning our pond was frozen. With the afternoon sun, it is starting to thaw, but there is still ice on the surface. So I am looking forward to some ice skating this winter on our pond. But we do have some happy chickens getting to free range in the afternoon sun. And even though we sold quite a few chickens, we still have 33 chickens here on our farm. Anna, don't play with the chick. You're scaring him or her. Anna. Anna, that's not your baby. Anna, come.